I didn't sleep after that message. You don't, when someone proves they can see what you're doing. Not just the story, not just the evidence. Every step suddenly feels exposed. Every decision feels watched. But stopping wasn't an option anymore. Not after everything lined up the way it did. If you're just joining, welcome. And if you've been following, you already feel where this is going. Take a second to subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. She changed her routine the next morning. Different routes, different stops. She avoided patterns without thinking about it. Instinct took over where logic couldn't keep up. But the work didn't slow down. If anything, it sharpened. The three figures in the reflection stayed with her. It wasn't just evidence anymore. It was structure. One person doesn't create that kind of coordination. Two is possible. Three means intention, planning, roles assigned before anything even started. She went back to the station. Not officially. Not through the front desk. She needed access without attention. Records, logs, anything tied to the night of the interrogation. Inside, everything looked normal. Too normal. Desks in place. Officers moving through routine. But routine can hide anything if people believe in it enough. She found what she needed in the back system. Interrogation room access logs. 3 entries. Not 1. Not 2. 3 separate access points within the same time frame. But the official record listed only 1 officer present. That wasn't an error. That was removal. I felt the shift again. That same cold realization. This wasn't just manipulation. This was coordination inside the system itself. People weren't just ignoring the truth. They were shaping it. She tried to match the timestamps with personnel records. Names appeared, then disappeared. Files that should have been stable started changing. Access restricted. Clearance denied. Doors quietly closing without explanation. Then someone reached out. Not a call this time. Not a message. A physical note slipped under her door. No signature. Just an address. And a time. She stared at it longer than she should have. Because this wasn't a warning. It was an invitation. She almost didn't go. I wouldn't blame her if she walked away right there. An address with no name is never neutral. It means someone knows where you are. It means they're confident enough to reach you. But she had already crossed the point where fear could stop her. So she went. The address led to the edge of town. An old structure that hadn't been used in years. Windows dark. Doors worn. The kind of place people forget exists until they need it. She parked at a distance. Watched first. Waited for movement. Nothing came. She stepped inside slowly. The air was stale. Dust clung to everything. Every footstep echoed louder than it should have. Felt wrong. But not empty. Never empty. Close the door. The voice came from somewhere deeper inside. Calm. Controlled. Not surprised to see her. That was the first thing that made her uneasy. She didn't move at first. Then she did. Slowly pushing the door shut behind her. The sound echoed through the building. Final. Like a line she couldn't step back across. He stepped forward just enough to be seen. Not fully. Never fully. His face stayed hidden in shadow. But his voice was steady. Measured. Like someone used to being listened to. He didn't waste time. Said she was asking the wrong questions. Said the case wasn't about who did it. It was about who needed it solved. And that those are never the same thing. I felt it again. That shift in understanding. The kind that doesn't clarify things. Complicates them. Because now the story wasn't just broken. It was built that way. He told her about the report. Confirmed it existed. Confirmed it was seen. And confirmed it was buried intentionally. Not to hide the victim, but to protect the name attached to it. Then he said something that changed everything. The suspect didn't just confess. He was chosen. Selected because he fit the narrative. Quiet. Isolated. Believable. The kind of person people accept as guilty without resistance. Before she could respond, he stepped back. Further into the dark. His voice fading with distance. "You're close now," he said. Close enough to disappear. Then silence. Complete. And when she moved forward, he was gone. I shouldn't have gone back. That's the thought that kept repeating. But once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. You can't pretend it ends where they say it does. So she didn't stop, even after the warning, even after the silence that followed. Because now it wasn't just about the girl. It was about everything built around her. She returned to the evidence with a different focus. Not what happened, but how it was presented. Every report, every statement, every official detail. She wasn't looking for truth anymore. She was looking for control. Patterns started to emerge where consistency should have been. Language repeated across separate reports. Phrases identical down to punctuation. Different officers. Same wording. That wasn't coincidence. That was alignment. She traced the statements back to their source. Internal summaries. Documents that shaped everything released to the public. And at the center of it all, one office, one chain of approval, one place where the story became official. I felt it settle in fully then. This wasn't scattered involvement. This was structure, organized, layered, protected from the inside out. She needed something undeniable, something that couldn't be dismissed or erased quietly. So she went back to the audio, not the leak, the original source, the one that hadn't been cleaned. It took hours to isolate it properly. Background noise stripped away piece by piece. Distortion reduced. Frequencies separated. Until the voices came through clearly. Not one. Not two. Several. They weren't just guiding him. They were building the confession in real time. Feeding him details. Correcting him when he hesitated. Leading him toward a version that fit perfectly. A version that could close the case cleanly. She sat there in silence after it played through. Because there was no doubt left. No uncertainty. The truth wasn't hidden anymore. It was documented, recorded, and buried intentionally. She didn't hesitate this time. I wouldn't either. Once the truth is clear, waiting only gives it time to disappear again. She prepared everything in one place. Audio, footage, logs. Every piece connected, aligned, undeniable. All it needed now was to be seen. She wrote through the night. No distractions. No second-guessing. Every sentence built on proof. Every claim backed by something they couldn't erase easily. The story didn't drift. It moved straight, direct, unforgiving. By morning it was ready, complete, structured, dangerous. She hovered over the publish button longer than she expected. Because once it went live, it wouldn't just expose the truth. It would expose her. I felt that pause. That moment where everything could still be undone. Walk away. Close the file. Let the town keep its version. But that wasn't why she started. She pressed it. The story went live. For a moment nothing happened. Then everything did. Views climbed. Shares multiplied. People started asking questions the town had avoided. It didn't stay up long. Minutes. That's all it got. Then the page refreshed. Error. Content unavailable. Account access restricted. Like it had never existed. She tried backups. Cloud storage. External drives. Links she sent to herself. Gone. Every version wiped clean. Not corrupted. Removed. Then the notice came. Short. Official. The case had been reopened. No explanation. No details. Just enough to acknowledge movement. And then sealed permanently. The town adjusted quickly. Like it always does. People stopped talking about the details. Stopped questioning the gaps. The case remained solved. On paper. In records. In statements that no longer meant anything. But something changed. Not loudly. Not openly. Just enough. People started looking at things differently. Small doubts replacing blind certainty. Because once you see the cracks, you can't pretend they're not there. Officially, the case was closed. Unofficially, nobody believed it anymore. If the story stayed with you, don't let it end here. Like, subscribe, comment what you think really happened, and share this with someone who would question the perfect answer.